in an atom, this is what an atom looks like. Okay, so this is a general atom. Inside an atom, there are protons and neutrons. Okay, and these protons and neutrons, they are kind of stuck to each other, and they form what is called as the nucleus of an atom. Okay, so this is what a nucleus of an atom looks like. It's kind of like the sun of our solar system. Okay, and electrons are negatively charged particles which revolve around this nucleus. Okay, so electrons are kind of like planets. Okay, so if electrons, they revolve around their orbits, their own orbits, and around the nucleus. So electrons are negatively charged particles, and protons, which is inside the nucleus, are positively charged particles. Okay, and neutrons are neutral particles. They have no charge. Okay, so they have no charge. Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged. So now you're thinking, what are these electrons? Electrons are nothing but they're like the tiniest particles inside an atom which have negative charge. Their mass is hardly anything. Like, to the naked eye, seeing an atom is impossible. Okay, we have to do lots of zooming in. For example, have you guys seen your, if you look at your ruler, if you look at your scale, you will see 1 centimeter gaps, right? You will see 1 centimeter readings. Within those 1 centimeter readings, you will see 10 1 millimeter readings. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you take those one small tiny 1 millimeter reading and divide that 1 millimeter reading into 100,000 parts.
Ma'am, that's not possible with our eyes, or like a dividing of ours.
Yeah, so that 1 millimeter space, if you divide that by 100,000 times, that is how much is the size of an atom. So it is impossible for us to see an atom with our naked eye. Okay, so inside an atom we have very, very tiny particles called electrons, which hardly have any mass. Their mass is almost negligible. Okay, so all that they have is charge. They are negatively charged. Now these electrons are present. Okay, so Yashika says it is as light as a feather. No, feather is several times heavier than an electron. Okay, a feather is a lot more heavier than an electron, probably 100,000 times heavier than an electron.
Ma'am, I think if when we keep our hand in the air, we will feel nothing, right? That will be for us atom.
Yeah. In fact, even if you put your hand in the air, you'll at least feel the breeze, right? A single atom does not weigh even that much. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying that the electrons are negatively charged, protons are positively charged. Now, in a metal, what happens is metals usually have electrons that are freely flowing. Okay. For example, if I have a piece of iron, all right, so I have a piece of iron. In this piece of iron, this iron is made up of lots of atoms of iron. Okay, so these are atoms, and there are lots of atoms of iron. Now, inside each of this atom, there is, let's say, a few freely floating electrons, some free electrons. That means they are not attracted by the nucleus. They are attracted, but not strongly. Okay, so those electrons move freely in this iron, in this piece of iron. So there is electrons from this atom, electrons from this atom, from this atom, from this atom. So every single atom of iron will have some free electrons. Now all of these free electrons, they can flow in one direction. Okay, so when that happens, we have a flow of electricity. What is electricity? Electricity is nothing but flow of charge. Wherever there is some flow of charge, there is electricity. So if I put a battery over here, what happens? Electrons start flowing in this direction. Okay, so electrons start flowing in this direction. So electricity starts flowing in this direction. So electricity always flows in the direction opposite to the flow of electrons. Why? Because electrons are negatively charged and electricity flows from positive direction to negative direction. So in a battery, electricity flows in this direction. From positive, it will flow to negative. Okay, and electrons are negatively charged, so they will flow in the opposite direction to electricity. Does that make sense? So,
Ma'am,
yes.
Okay, nothing, sorry. Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's fine, that's fine. All right, so now let's go back to the electrical method. So in this electrical method, what we have is we have a piece of soft iron. Now, this soft iron is insulated by a cardboard tube. By the way, guys, cardboard is also a good insulator of electricity. So anyway, so the soft iron is insulated by a cardboard tube. And if you notice, there are these copper wires. This is a copper wire. This copper wire is connected to a battery. So one end of the copper wire is connected to the positive side of the battery. The other end of the copper wire is connected to the negative side of the battery. Now, in between, what is happening is I'm wrapping this copper wire around this cardboard tube. So essentially, it is something like, let's say that this is the piece of magnet, or sorry, piece of iron that I have, and on top of this piece of iron, I put a cardboard tube. Now I take the copper wire and I wrap it around, not directly around this piece of iron. I wrap it on top of the cardboard tube, so that the um, so that it is insulated from the copper wire. The soft iron is insulated from the copper wire. Okay, so now what happens is due to this electricity, the magnetic properties are induced into the soft iron piece. Okay, now, so now the soft iron also, due to the electricity passing through this copper wire, the soft iron also ends up becoming a magnet. So how do we decide which side is the south pole and which side is the north pole?
Ma'am, but I still can't understand. Conduct with a magnet, how does it become a magnet?
Okay, so we know that electricity is flowing in one particular direction, right?
Yeah.
And what does this electricity do? What is electricity? It is nothing but flow
Flow of charges.
of charges. Very good. So whenever we have a flow of charge, we also, how does it affect other electrons? Yeah. So so electricity is passing in this direction. Electrons are flowing in this direction, right? So if electrons are flowing in this direction, that means what? Electrons are flowing in this direction, they will flow like this. Correct?
Yeah, ma'am, I understood, because when it is going in the same direction, it will get the magnetic properties. Okay.
Exactly. Yes, it's kind of like the single touch method, where if I have a piece of iron and I take a magnet and I rub it several times in one particular direction, what happens? All the electrons start spinning in one direction and this piece becomes magnetized. Similarly, if I have current flowing in one particular direction, then this piece of iron will also become magnetized. Except we are not touching the piece of iron, we are just using electricity to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now let us go back and look at how do you decide which is North Pole and South Pole. Okay, so in order for us to do that, let's take a current flowing from this side of the battery to the other side of the battery. So how do we okay, here it is written this is the North Pole and this is the South Pole. But if you take a regular piece of iron, it's not going to be written north and south. You have to decide which is north and south. So how do you do that? You take the positive end of the battery, and what you do is, say this is my piece of iron. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this piece of iron right in front of my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to put it in front of my eyes, and then I'm going to see in which direction the current is flowing. So I told you that the copper wire is coiled around this thing. So then I'm going to look at the copper wire and I'm going to see in which direction the current is flowing. So let us say if you guys put your eyes on, if you guys put your eyes over here. So you guys put your eyes over here and you are watching this. So in which direction do you see the current flowing? So current is starting to flow over here and then it will go like this and like this and like this and like this and like this. So in which direction is the current flowing when you are looking from this side?
Ma'am, are we standing in right or left?
I drew the eye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I drew the eye on the left hand side. You're looking at the the setup. So in which
Then
direction?
it's moving to the right hand side.
So you need to tell me clockwise or anti-clockwise. Do you guys know what clockwise and anti-clockwise is?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, so you need to tell me if it's moving clockwise or anti-clockwise. All right. So we will assume that this is the cardboard tube. Okay. Inside this cardboard tube, we have a soft iron. Okay. And outside this, I have wrapped around copper wire. All right. So I have copper wire wrapped around on the outside. Now I am looking at the copper wire from this side. All right. So from this side, I notice that the current is flowing like this. So if you guys can take anything that's round and then you wrap a wire around it, you'll be able to understand. So if I look at it, the current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction, not clockwise. Do all of you know what clockwise and anti-clockwise is?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you will notice that the current is moving in the anti-clockwise direction. So if the current is moving in the anti-clockwise direction, then that side is the North Pole, and the other side, if I put my eye on the other side, then I'll notice the current is moving in the clockwise direction on this side. So if I put my eye on this side, then I will notice the current is moving in the clockwise direction. So that side is known as the South Pole. Yes.
Ma'am, what exactly is clockwise and anti-clockwise?
What, Yashika?
Ma'am, Yashika has asked what is actually clockwise and anti-clockwise.
What is clockwise and anti-clockwise? Okay, good question. All right. So, Yashika, in which direction does the clock move? In which direction does the hands of the clock, do the hands of the clock move?
Ma'am, the direction on which how the clock moves is called clockwise, right? Clockwise
Correct.
direction.
Yes. So if I have a clock, all right, this clock has 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. Now, if I look at, if electricity is flowing like this, if I look from the left hand side, I will notice that the current is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise means North Pole. How do you remember that? How do we write the letter N? We write the letter N like this. So I'm just going to put an arrow at the beginning and the end. So you'll notice that it goes in the anti-clockwise direction. So that is why this is known as the North Pole. So if I write the letter N, it is like this, right? So
for some minutes I was not able to hear you. Can you please repeat?
yeah, so I said this is clockwise direction, and anything opposite to the clockwise direction is anti-clockwise or counterclockwise. Is that clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So now if I look at the electrical method, if I look at this, setup from the left hand side, then I notice that if the current is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction, then that is the North Pole. How do I know that's the North Pole? Because one way to remember that is anti-clockwise is always North Pole. How do I remember that? I draw the letter N. When I draw the letter N and I make these arrows will always point in the anti-clockwise direction. How do I remember it? How do I remember that South Pole is clockwise? When I draw S, the ends of the S, they always point in the clockwise direction. So always remember, anti-clockwise is the North Pole, clockwise is the South Pole. This is how you remember. Did everybody understand this?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, these all methods are to make a temporary magnet, right?
No, the electrical method you can also make permanent magnet.
Yes, ma'am. If you replace the soft iron core with steel, there you can make it a permanent magnet.
Yep. Yep. All right. So okay, I want to know if everybody understood this. So just say yes if you did. If you did not, say no. All right. So that was one method, the last final method. Now let's talk about some terminologies or some magnetic materials and how we define these different kinds of magnetic materials. Okay. So all materials can be classified.
Ma'am?
Everything. Yes.
I've got a doubt.
Yes.
You said about anti-clockwise and clockwise, right?
Yes.
And identifying which side is north and which side is south.
Yes.
So when we look in different directions, the result is different, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So how do we know which
Yeah.
is wrong?
So whichever direction you look in, if that direction is giving you if that direction is giving you anti-clockwise, if the current in that direction is flowing in the anti-clockwise direction, and that is the North Pole.
Ma'am, can I ask one thing? Then when we are looking at the next side, means the opposite side, then we will be seeing it like clockwise direction, right?
Correct. Yes.
Then
So
that will be obviously the south, right?